Okay, here we have a sealed affidavit, previously sealed, I would imagine, I assume, from out of Colorado for arrest warrant. Application for arrest warrant and the arrest warrant for the person of Jamil James, born in 2005. Okay, Jamil James, I'm not linking with this case, by the way. We're looking at this affidavit. It's nothing, I'm not trying to say that he's got anything to do with this case. But it's the way the vehicle involved has been characterised. So I'm going to go from the top just so that we get the gist. This is by Detective Jacob Hafeen, the affiant. Okay, Detective Hafeen learned the following from the dispatch incident detail report. On July the 31st, 2022, at approximately 10:58, the Denver Combined Communications Center received numerous 911 call reports reporting an accident on I-70 near Quebec. One caller reported suspects in a truck shooting at a dark blue black grey sedan. That's clear as mud. That's not the bit I was talking about. So it will come on to elucidate. Hang on. The car then kept going. The truck, this is just the reports. The truck then hit a semi-truck. The reporting party had to swerve out of the way to avoid the accident. Detective Huff learned the following from Detective Adam of Golden. Is the is his name Dodd? There is an area of Colorado called Golden. No, that's his name, Adam Golden, who responded to the scene. The scene investigation indicated the truck on scene that struck the semi-truck was the silver 2019 Dodge Ram 1500 Colorado plate, and even, along with all of that information, even gives the plate number, which has been redacted. So there's a lot of information there about this vehicle, including the colour. The truck was reported stolen to North Glen Police Department on July. See, they are also relying on the fact that very few of us have ever read or heard read a PCA. On July the 27th, 2022, after crashing into the semi-truck, the stolen Dodge Ram then crashed into, and this one has got its number plate as well, a white 2016 Hyundai Santa Fe Colorado plate, and gives the plate number. All the details. No suspect vehicle 1 business. Not that this one is suspect vehicle 1, the other one is clearly. But look at all these details. They didn't call it suspect vehicle 1. They didn't call it suspect vehicle. They give you all the details. And later in the PCA, they are using the number plate number. They are using all the details, and they're making it sound like they've linked it to suspect vehicle 1. But if they linked it to suspect vehicle 1, why are they still calling it suspect vehicle 1? The Hyundai Santa Fe was also reported stolen. Oh no, sorry, somebody else has been up to no good. No shell casings were recovered on scene. The Dodge Ram started on fire after it struck the Hyundai Santa Fe. I say Hyundai, different from you folk, don't I? Yeah, that's how we say it in the UK. I had to double check that. I was like, am I pronouncing it wrong? And I was like, no, that's how we pronounce it. And then I thought, do we pronounce it like that? I literally looked up adverts, and I went on sort of an episode of Top Gear where, we say Hyundai. So you say tomato, we say tomato. Yeah, that way round. And the fire had to be extinguished by the fire department. There was extensive damage on the Dodge Ram and Hyundai Santa Fe. The victim, Kevin Piaskowski, date of birth given, was driving a grey Subaru Outback. Now, we don't have a hold on, I'm confused. The truck drove into the Hyundai Santa Fe, but then he's driving a grey Subaru Outback. Now I'm confused. What have I missed? His vehicle was contacted in a lane of traffic approximately quarter mile west of the Ram and the Santa Fe. Okay, something else has happened. The victim's vehicle had 3 apparent bullet strikes. Wow. The victim was treated by a witness on scene until paramedics arrived. So the victim's vehicle, we have not got the number plate for. But then I guess they don't need to give us that, do they? Paramedics transported the victim to Denver Health Medical Center, where he was pronounced deceased at 11:31 by Dr. Morgan. A cell phone was recovered from the Hyundai Santa Fe. Detective Golden provided the cell phone to Detective Huff. Detective Huff checked it into the Property Bureau under property number. Look at that, giving us a property number and everything. It was a red Apple iPhone. God, giving us all the details. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk they would have done that? Right. Do you want me to carry on? I don't want to bore you folks, but I'm intrigued now because it's been a while since I read this. I read it a while ago and saved it in case I wanted to refer to it in the future. Okay, I'm going to go on. You got stuff to do. You carry on. Don't you worry. We're just going to carry on here, me and my one listener. Detective Huff interviewed a witness with quite a long name by the looks of it. And that witness related that he was driving westbound on I-70 when he saw a vehicle accident on the shoulder with one vehicle on fire. He described the vehicle as a silver mid-sized pickup and a small white compact SUV. People started walking away from the crashed cars. He pulled over after passing the vehicles. One female started walking, limping towards him after the accident. He asked if she was all right, and she did not speak much. She then started to walk off towards the north. He also observed a lot of activity to the west of his location and believed it to be another accident. God blimey. What a clusterfuck. He was unaware of any shooting that occurred. Officers later took him to see if a female contacted by officers was the same female that he saw limp away from the scene. He stated that he was 95% sure. Always think, what about the other 5%? Yeah. What about the other 5%? It was the same female later identified. And speaking of which, I have another video, one that I started making last night, but in true ADHD style, I got interested in something else today. Regarding eyewitness identification of suspects. and the reliability of it when a person is wearing a mask. Everybody's saying, well, you can't just identify somebody by bushy eyebrows. Yeah, you can't. You can't just identify them by the height, their bushy eyebrows and their slender athletic build. But you also can't identify somebody wearing a flipping mask that good. Presumably, we need to know what the lighting was like in that room as well at that time. They're all in black. They've got a mask on. It's presumably dim lighting. Managed to spot those bushy eyebrows. However, they've got a mask on. And what about their hair? Because I'm going to have to assume this is a ski mask, because why is their hair not mentioned? It's got to be a ski mask. Otherwise, that is... Why don't we know about the hair? They'd use that to their advantage if they could, surely. And it's very interesting what they say about identifying suspects with masks on, because they've done some tests because of the fact that when we remember somebody's face, we remember it holistically. And this becomes problematic when somebody is so holistically, as in we don't remember all their features separately. We remember their face as a whole object. Like, imagine you've got an object on a table, just that object, not a pin. Don't put objects on the table and make a face with it. It's one object. Interestingly, this is different when someone's wearing a mask. And there's a problem with people identifying a masked individual by looking at an individual who is unmasked, because we're filling in the blanks. It's like trying to figure out a word when some of the word is redacted. Or figure out a name when some of the name is redacted. Could you figure out somebody's last name if you can only see their first name and their last name? Could you figure out someone's whole name if you can only see their first name and their last name's redacted, or vice versa? Detective Huff responded to Denver Health Medical Center and contacted somebody with a short name. She was contacted by Officer Max Nielsen. Officer Nielsen received a description of suspects fleeing from the scene over the police radio. Officer Nielsen observed somebody with a short name who matched the description of one suspect limping away from the scene in the area of 1270 Highway SB exit to North Quebec Street. She was transported to Denver Health Medical Center to be treated for injuries sustained during the accident. Detective Huff interviewed long name with her mother present. Hold on, how come her name was short before and her name's long now? Detective Huff, with her mother present. She related she was in a white SUV, possibly a Tahoe. She was riding with her ex-boyfriend, who she identified as short name. She denied knowing his last name. Okay, that'll be why then. And denied knowing his last name and described it. I don't blame her though. You don't want to get people involved who don't have to be involved. But then again, he is involved because he's there and he needs to bear witness. But some people don't want to be involved because you just get sucked into something that you may have absolutely nothing to do with in terms of the crime itself. And described him as having dark skin and dreadlocks. She denied knowing his last name. Again, she related that they were arguing and he pulled over. She got out and rolled her ankle as she was getting out of the car. She denied knowing about an accident. Officers collected her cell phone upon contact and provided the cell phone to Detective Huff. The cell phone was an Apple iPhone with a gemstone case. Detective Huff, hope you don't mind me calling him Huff for short, was provided a publicly viewable dash cam video posted to the website reddit.com. In the video, the Dodge Ram appears to be tailgating the victim's vehicle. The Dodge Ram abruptly switches 2 lanes to the right, and Hyundai appears to be following the Dodge Ram. So now they don't need to keep writing, you know, the details, where is it? The plate number and everything. Can't find when that's gone. So they're just being referred to as Dodge Ram and a Hyundai. Appears to be following the Dodge Ram because of the same abrupt lane changes. There are 3 separate gunshots heard and 2 muzzle flashes from the Dodge Ram. So this is from a dash cam video. So they have video evidence and they are detailing their video evidence. Did we have detailed evidence in the Moscow PCA? Were there any details or descriptions of what was on that video evidence? Let me see what we got. Bear with, please. They did a video canvass to obtain any footage from the early morning hours. This video canvass resulted in the collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both residential and business addresses. I have reviewed numerous videos that were collected and have had conversations with the other MPD, ISP detectives and FBI agents that are similar. It's interesting how it seems to be constantly qualifying what he says by saying that he's spoken to this person or how he knows things, and you're not seeing that in the other one. Like, he needs to prove it, and they do need to prove it, obviously, but just by saying I've spoken to somebody else and I know from my training, I've not seen any of that in here. A review of camera footage indicated that a white sedan, hereafter suspect vehicle 1. See, white sedan, how vague is that? I mean, they could have said that here, couldn't they, about this Hyundai here? I don't even remember what colour it was. God, I'm so bad at skim reading. Oh no, it's further up, that's why. White, yeah, this was a white sedan. They could have just kept saying white sedan here, but no, they and then continued to say white sedan, but they were specific and said white Hyundai. None of this suspect vehicle 1 business. So details this vehicle travelling somewhere that appears slightly irrelevant. But then they've review of footage from multiple videos obtained from the King Road neighbourhood showed multiple sightings of suspect vehicle 1 starting at 3:29 and ending at 4:20 a.m. Multiple sightings. These sightings show suspect vehicle 1 makes an initial 3 passes by the 1122 King Road residents. We can't make 3 passes, can he? Up, up, down, up. He's got to come back down again. And then leave via Willenta Drive. You can't leave via Willenta Drive. You've got to come back out of the... What do you mean leave via Willenta Drive? Because, interesting, on here, and leave via Willenta Drive, but it appears we're led to believe... I have wondered about this before, you know. Haven't been here for a while. Yeah, we still got that, and that. Why is that? It's interesting, isn't it? I know, before anybody says it, you can request to have your house blurred out, apparently. But, don't know, in this case... I sometimes think there could be another reason. Look at this house blurred out over here as well. That house is the spooky house. Yeah, so I wonder if when we go back up here, I'm not going to go up there yet. I'm just going to get in closer. So is that how we remembered it from when all those boys were hanging around there? But look what happens when we get close to there now. And that's weird, isn't it? Very, very odd. How that changes. I mean, what on earth are you hiding there? If you can see it from here, then what can be... I mean, there's... What are they hiding? What would be the point of that? When you can quite... What's that? It's a nice white vehicle there. Whatever that is. White sedan, man. Well, so I'd wondered if there's a way round the back of there. I mean, is that... It doesn't look like there's enough space, does there, to get to Willenta? Because Willenta's up there. So if this person left to Willenta, then they left on foot, didn't they? Because, unless that's just really badly written, because otherwise you're going on to King. You might leave the whole area via Willenta, but that's not what it says. It says... Make initial 3 passes by the 112 King Road residents, unless they mean 3 passes along. Unless they mean 3 passes along Taylor, and by going past the 1122 residents, what they are referring to is the fact that there's that alleyway here. So, because 3 passes, but 3 passes, 1, 2, 3, 1 up in that direction, another back towards me, and a 3rd one, and then you're going up this way, aren't you? You'd have to make 4 to be going back the other way, unless you came from that direction in the first place. Where did they come from? From the King Road neighbourhood. Now, do they actually mean... They don't say just the King Road, they say the King Road neighbourhood. Now, so perhaps that doesn't mean specifically the King Road. It means this sort of neighbourhood. And would they count this as the King Road neighbourhood, seen as it backs onto it? Because otherwise you can't... Sorry, let me just read again. These sightings show suspect vehicle were making initial 3 passes by 1122 King Road residents and then leaving via Willenter Drive. You can't leave via Willenter Drive. So if they must be talking about making 3 passes on Taylor. Starting at 3:29. What time did that video Bandfield, how long did that, what time did it go on until? That's interesting. Right, let's get back to this other PCA. So the Dodge Ram. So the Dodge Ram then rear ends a semi-truck careering out of control in front of the Hyundai Santa Fe and crashing into it. And they provide video evidence of that. And there's not, where's the, we get any photographic evidence? No, we've just got maps, haven't we? There's no photographic evidence. This actually shows the vehicle, the victim's vehicle, the Dodge Ram, the Hyundai Santa Fe. Even the muzzle flash from the gun. So that's really just looks like it's very hard to tell what that actually is. Could be anything. Yeah, I mean, look, that light, there's lights on that car and that car, so I don't really see that you can tell that that's a muzzle flash, but anyway. Dodge Ram, Hyundai Santa Fe. That's a strange picture, but at least it's a picture. You really need to actually be able to see the video, don't you? I don't know, I feel like these things should perhaps, I mean, when they present this to a judge, presumably, well, surely they don't just show a picture. They need to show it actually happening. Detective Huff interviewed Long Name, who posted the dash cam video of the shooting. He related that he first noticed the truck / suspect vehicle. Now they're calling it a suspect vehicle, but they have stated earlier what it was, the identity of that suspect vehicle. And it just says here, it doesn't ever actually say, does it, that vehicle is the vehicle? And it just starts saying that they identified a vehicle based on my based on my own experience and communication with Washington law enforcement, I know that Idaho and Washington require front and back license plates to be displayed. Don't even know why you need to say based on my experience. Like it's proof. His vehicle was captured. Investigators believe that Koberger is still driving. It never actually states that suspect vehicle 1 and this vehicle are one and the same. And it never actually proves it. It's very odd. Like, I don't know how they didn't get a number plate. Like, surely the camera at some point could have seen the back number plate, the back license plate. The truck began to tail. Where are we anyway? He was going to switch. He related that he first noticed the truck's suspect vehicle when it began to tailgate his vehicle. He was going to switch lanes to get out of its way, but the truck switched lanes first. The truck began to tailgate the victim vehicle, and it appeared the victim vehicle braked ahead, brake checked. I'm just sorry, I was thinking about something else. Somebody else was saying to me, look at any other PCA. They call it suspect vehicle 1. That's normal. It's not. Even when they do refer to it as a suspect vehicle, they don't call it suspect. They were saying it was normal, even if there's only one suspect, for it to be called suspect vehicle 1. And telling me that I didn't know anything, I hadn't read any PCAs. This is when I think I started looking before that. And I looked a bit harder after that. It's quite hard to find one with vehicle that's available online. But I did find one, and it does not refer to it as suspect vehicle 1. The truck began to tailgate the victim vehicle, and it appeared the victim vehicle brake checked the suspect vehicle. The suspect vehicle then changed lanes and began shooting at the victim vehicle. The victim vehicle appeared to be driving normally while using its blinkers, technical term, while switching lanes, so he did not think that anybody was hit by the gunfire. Detective Huff authored a search warrant for whatever redacted number cell phone. The cell phone was an Apple iPhone with a gemstone case. Property number, even given the property number. Detective Huff presented the search warrant to Judge Cindy Dang. We've even been told who it was presented to, and she signed it on August the 1st, 2022 at 12:15, lunchtime. Detective Huff provided the cell phone and search warrant to Homicide Unit crime analyst Craig Spingarn, and he used Celebrite to download the phone. Look at all these details. Detective Huff authored a search warrant for the cell phone collected from the stolen Hyundai Santa Fe. The cell phone was a red Apple iPhone. And there we've got the property number. Detective Huff presented the search warrant to Judge Cindy Dang, and she signed it on the same date at the same time. And then that detective provided the cell phone and search warrant to Technical Electronic Support Unit Detective Jeremy Kane. And we've got his number there, and he used Celebrite to download the phone. Look at all these details. Detective Huff authored a search warrant for the stolen Dodge Ram and the stolen Hyundai Santa Fe and presented it again to the same judge. She signed the warrant. She's very quick at signing. She's doing them all within the same minute on the same date. While processing the vehicle, criminalists collected swabs of possible cellular material, DNA, from both vehicles, as well as collected the airbags of the vehicles to be tested for possible cellular material. Detective Huff was advised by forensic scientist Michael Odom that both stolen suspect vehicles were processed for latent prints. He found the following: latent print located exterior front passenger door of the Dodge Ram, and then we've got a redacted name, presumably, and then latent print located on the interior driver's side door frame of the stolen Hyundai Santa Fe, and presumably that will be a name. The detective reviewed the download of the cell phone recovered from redacted and located the following identifying items and registered accounts. And then we've got all those details. Detective Huff reviewed the timeline and observed the following relevant events. Facebook interaction with somebody on July the 31st at 2:13 p.m. Their name is redacted. Oh, but we've got inverted comma there, so I think they might be known by a nickname. July 31st on 2022, 4:14 p.m. Movie taken from inside of stolen Dodge Ram. Distinctive sticker in black window indicates it is the same. See, something distinctive, something that not just that it didn't have a front number plate, because we know there were a lot of people in Moscow that night from different places. We know that there are a lot of events going on, and we know that there are a number of other areas, including Arizona, a number of other states, where you do not have to display the front number plate, license plate, if you prefer. Something's been redacted. We've got a sticker there, picture of the sticker on the actual car, presumably vehicle rather. Then right, these are all on July the 31st, so I won't keep saying the date. 10:50 p.m. call log redacted 2 minutes 22 seconds. This was just prior to the shooting, indicating that redacted was not in the same vehicle as redacted phone, which was located in the Hyundai Santa Fe. Then at 10:58 p.m, 911 call related to accident shooting, not related to cell phone, for reference only. 11:02 p.m. call log redacted 2 minutes 17 seconds. 11:03 p.m. instant message, life alert, message alerting of a sudden collision with redacted. Message encourages user to check on redacted. Instant message, life alert message alerting of a sudden, this is 11:04, sudden collision for that specific iPhone. Oh, that's in inverted commas, so maybe that thing that was in inverted commas before was the same thing. Was the phone being interacted with Facebook? Message encourages user to check on redacted. Detectives Huff and Golden interviewed redacted a second time with her mother present. She was evasive with questions and at times provided conflicting statements about what occurred. In summary, she related the following. She was with her boyfriend Jamil James. They were arguing as she got in the white SUV before they went on the highway. should that say as she got in the white SUV? Jamil James and his boys, or so she got in that. So she got into a different vehicle, is that it? So Jamil James and his boys were in the Dodge Ram. That's what's in inverted commas as well, his boys. She later said there were only 2 people in the truck. She was in the white SUV with Redacted and another girl. Redacted was driving the white SUV. Detective Huff presented her a still shot from a video recovered from her cell phone. The video was taken at approximately 4:14 p.m. on the day of the homicide from inside the truck, and there was a male in the driver's seat. She identified that male as James. She further described him as 17 years old, and when asked about his birthday, she stated he was an Aries. Detective April then. Well, I know that maybe, I don't know if it just is in April, but I do know an April Aries. Detectives searched records and located Jamil James, date of birth April the 10th, 2005. Which is consistent with being an Aries and being 17 years old. Wilkins was presented a single photo of James that was taken as a booking photo in 2017 when he was 12. And they're booking people who are 12 years old. Jeez. And she denied recognising him. James appeared much younger in the photo. Oh, what a surprise, he was 12. Than how he appears in the photo from when they are sitting in the truck on the date of the homicide when he's 17. Detective Huff searched Denver records for somebody with a nickname and saw a previous report with the name and phone number. Redacted long name. Detective Huffine and Golden attempted to contact Redacted at her residence. She was not home, and her mother, Redacted, advised that she had not seen Redacted since before Sunday and could not contact her since Redacted lost her phone. Detective Huffine reviewed the download of the cell phone recovered from the Hyundai Santa Fe and located the following identifying information and registered accounts. So 4 redacted items. Detective Huffine reviewed the timeline and observed the following relevant events. 10:52 p.m. Location information shows in the area of the westbound on ramp to I-70 from North Chambers Road. Continual location information westbound on I-70. Same date, 10:57 p.m. Location information shows in the area of the homicide / accident. Redacted's mother called Detective Huffine and advised that Redacted wanted to provide an interview. Detective Huffine met Hendricks, she's named now, at her house and conducted an interview. She related the following in summary. She was at her boyfriend's house. Her boyfriend is... Why is his name not being given now? When leaving, she got in the front passenger seat of the white SUV. Her boyfriend... Redacted got into the driver's seat of the white SUV. Her friend, Redacted, got into the passenger front seat of the truck. Her friend Peanut, there we go, there's the nickname, got into the driver's seat of the truck. She also knows Peanut as Jamil. Hold on. What? They're saying that they didn't say that they got out of the SUV. And now they're getting into the truck. Okay. And it doesn't say a time or anything. She also knows Peanut as Jamil, but did not know his last name. The truck left first. Hold on, I'm confused. Let me read that again. She got in the front passenger seat of the white SUV, and her boyfriend's Jamil, isn't he? No, it's not. Right, okay. Her boyfriend is somebody else. But Jamil, right, he gets in the truck with somebody else. The truck left first and she had to call redacted to find out where they were going. Detective Huff knew this to be consistent with the phone call around 10:30 p.m. between redacted and redacted. They did not make any stops prior to getting on the highway. As they were driving on the highway, she heard gunshots. The truck then ran into the back of a semi-truck and crossed over in front of the white SUV. The white SUV that she was in collided with the truck. She got out and ran with redacted initially, but redacted could not run because her leg was hurt. She did not see Jamil James after the homicide collision. Immediately after the accident, she did not know anybody was murdered. She saw the news articles and the dash cam video on the news. Redacted related she has known the suspect, James, for approximately 2 months. When asked, she confirmed she would recognise the suspect in a crowded mall. Detective Huffine presented a single photo. You're not supposed to do that, are you? You're supposed to present a number of photos, I thought. And she confirmed it was the same Peanut and Jamil that she referenced being driving the truck at the time of the homicide collision. I thought that was... that's not what you meant to do, is it? Okay, on summary, at approximately 10:58 p.m, homicide shooting occurred in the area of westbound I-70 and North Quebec Street. The incident was caught on dash camera and it appeared to be the result of the victim vehicle brake checking the suspect vehicle stolen Dodge Ram while the suspect vehicle... The incident was caught on dash cam and it appeared to be the result of the victim vehicle brake checking the suspect vehicle while the suspect vehicle was tailgating. After shooting the victim vehicle, the Dodge Ram crashed into the back of a semi-truck and then another... Hold on, they don't actually have a weapon, do they? So somebody shot somebody. Okay. But you don't have a weapon. Arm is visible out of the front driving window firing the gun. Well, okay. If you're in the car, your arm's visible. You are sort of banged to rights there. Phone was collected from the Hyundai Santa Fe as evidence and downloaded subsequent to a search warrant being signed. The download revealed the following information. So, associated Apple ID, location information shows phone travelling westbound I-70 prior to the collision homicide and stopping at the location of the collision homicide. So exactly there, not before and after it, Like, how do they say in this PCA that the phone is travelling with the vehicle, or they just connect? I don't understand, because the phone's off during the time between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. So they don't know what it was doing during that time, and they don't seem to have fully identified the vehicle that they've seen. I mean, if they've identified it, why aren't they mentioning the number, the registration plate, as they have in this PCA? Location information shows the phone travelled westbound. I've read that. Redacted was interviewed and stated the following related to the crime of the homicide. Redacted was in the white SUV during the homicide collision. Redacted was driving and she was in the front passenger seat. Redacted and Jamil James were in the truck during the time of the homicide collision. Redacted was in the front passenger seat and James was driving. I thought he had got into the... No, he was the one driving, wasn't he? So this vehicle didn't stop, the truck, because how do they know? Because there's two people in the vehicle. Did it not stop? Because if it stopped, they could have swapped. We don't know who. Do we definitely know he was the driver? Oh God, I don't have the spoons to look at this at the moment. It's late where I am. It's about midnight and I have reached the limits, well, of my ADHD medication, and my brain is mush now. So I'd be interested to know what you make of the differences, similarities and differences, comparing and contrasting this PCA with the other PCA. Anything that stands out that I haven't mentioned, or anything that anything you want to raise, please do so. Interesting, and they've got distinctive features of the truck. Anything else that you notice that they do better or even worse than the other PCA? Very, very interested to know. I look forward to reading your comments, and I will speak to you all soon.